Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this fine? What is today even? Wednesday, Thursday? Hold on. Whatever today it is. Okay. So, yes, I have seen the what's his damn name? Adam22 interview with Lima. It came out yesterday. If y'all have not seen that yet, then I have left the link below. And as always, I want to encourage everyone to go do their own research, look at it yourself, see the whole thing yourself. I'm not going to be like, oh, don't give them clicks, don't give them clout like that. That's a kind of like cowardly thing to do. So if I'm going to talk about you, I'm going to link the video I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Okay. So she went on there, and of course, I'm going to be doing like a full on reaction of sorts. And of course, there's brand new details to the story. There was all kinds of things being said, but today I just want to really address just a couple things that were said that I feel like they really deserve their entire own video. Okay, so before we get into it, um, this is not legal advice. I am a lawyer. I am not your lawyer. All that. This is just my opinion. This is just my feelings. Especially this video. This is really just my opinions. Thank you, Jaded. Yeah, I don't know why she won't. So, B Payne says, why do I think that Lima won't just come directly to me? And that's a great question. I mean, she kind of blamed me for that whenever she was on that podcast. She was like, well, what she should have done was she should have reached out to me, and she shouldn't have done this, and she should have da da da. And it's like, well, girl, take your own advice. Like, she never reached out to me either. So, yeah, I mean, I've invited her on the channel. The invitation remains open today, but that's not really the point of this video. So what I've done is I have taken just about a 2-minute long clip from the podcast interview, and that is really all I'm going to want to talk about today for the most part. I may take a few questions at the end. And as you can see in the banner below, I have reached out to Adam, and I have offered to tell my side of the story. During the interview, he was asking a lot of questions that I would have been able to answer, and I am simply asking for the opportunity to do that. I'm waiting for a response. We'll see. Hopefully he has me on. If not, I think that would be pretty unfair to allow, Lima on there to say her side to the 4.5 million subscribers that this guy has, and not say my side. That just doesn't really seem fair. But yeah, without further ado, so Lima goes on this podcast, right? It's called No Jumper. I'm not a fan of the podcast. And I don't mean it like that. Like, oh, I'm not a fan. I mean, like, I haven't followed it. I'm not in the audience of the podcast. I just heard about it about, I guess a week or two ago, because somebody brought to my attention that Lima had followed them, and they were like, I guarantee you Lima's going to go on No Jumper. And then I was like, what is that? And the person was like, I don't know why she would go on that podcast, because the subject matter of the stuff that the guy usually talks about is kind of like risque. And I'm going to try and describe one of his podcast channels without like getting completely kicked off of YouTube. But basically, one of his sources of income is that he and his fiance have, let's say, relations with other women, and they film those relations and then they sell the footage. So it's sort of like PORN. Now, Lima in this interview kind of calls the guy out for that. She's like, I can't believe that you were worried about having me on your podcast and ruining your reputation when you're the one who is a bleep star, right? It was kind of weird. I just want to say, like, I don't really have a lot of personal opinions on, the morality of that. I genuinely believe that, what's his name? I keep almost calling him Mark. Adam should have the right to do whatever he wants to do with his body, and so should his girlfriend, fiance, and all that. But I did think it was very interesting that Lima was going on the channel to sort of exploit the clout of the channel, but simultaneously was sort of taking a dig at how the channel, like, partially derives income. But anyway, thank you, Jessica. Thanks for keeping it real and speaking the truth. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're just going to watch this clip of this video together. I've edited out like about a 5-second part just to make it as short as I could, but this is basically just one long clip, and there's like one part edited out. You'll see the jump cut. And then I want to talk about it. I want to discuss it.
She opened up a personal GoFundMe, and I've never had a personal GoFundMe, and raised $25,000 within like the first 24 hours.
She did.
Yeah, her goal was 25, I think.
So this is one of very many inaccuracies on this interview. I did not raise it in 24 hours. It was a little longer than that, but I sure did meet that goal, and I couldn't have done it without y'all. And I'm very, very thankful, grateful, and appreciative for how y'all rallied and came together for that legal fund. So thank you again, endlessly.
And she raised it within like something like a day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I couldn't.
It is amazing how y'all came through. So agreed.
Even raise, I raised $1,500 over a month.
Right.
So, but yeah, like, well, that's what happens. You polarize people.
Right.
You get them to really hate something, and then you like the Trump strategy.
Okay. So throughout this interview, these two use dog whistles, which are like special sort of code words within society, right? That mean a little bit more than they actually mean, or they signify something else other than what it just looks like on its face, right? And so in this type of a podcast, in this type of situation, to call something that I'm doing a Trump tactic is supposed to demean me or belittle me. And I just want to say, and they do it elsewhere in the podcast as well. At one point, Adam22 refers to me as Alex Jones. At one point, Lima calls all of the free band people very liberal. So it's like, I don't know if I'm a liberal, if I'm Alex Jones, if I'm Donald Trump, but whatever whatever box y'all are trying to put me in, I don't consent. I disagree, and it doesn't apply to me. I am not like Donald Trump. I am not like Alex Jones, and I am not like Shane Dawson. Your human brain cannot possibly comprehend, pardon me. Your human brain cannot possibly comprehend or fathom how to even begin to put it into words, how you could describe me and what really I am. There's really not even labels. There's really not. And so the attempt to do so is insulting and inaccurate. Okay. I'm not like Donald Trump. Actually, if you do just like a cursory amount of research on me, you will know that I actually am not fond of the man at all. And I know some of y'all are, and that's great. Good for y'all. Good for you. But I'm not. I don't like the man. I don't like some of the stuff he's done, and I'm allowed my opinion. But here they are. Oh, it's a Trump tactic. She's doing Donald Trump things.
People, you get them to really hate something, and then you like the Trump strategy.
Trump strategy. Girl, Trump wishes Donald J. Trump needs to be taking notes off of what I'm doing over here. Okay, that's all I'll say. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank God we the people have my back. Thank you, C, for the super sticker. Okay, let's see what else they have to say.
That's pretty sick.
So
that's crazy. Okay,
yeah.
So I am gonna look like a fool if you do end up being the devil. But as far as my
and y'all, I really do not understand this whole the devil thing. Like, what is their obsession with the devil? Because apparently, like, one person said somewhere Lima was the devil, and now they cannot let the devil think. I do not understand what the devil stuff is all about. But at the beginning of this interview, they talk about they're the devil and they're in the secret society together. I can't say the name, probably on YouTube. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like, what is all this devil shit? And he's like, well, if you turn out being at the beginning of it, she's like, oh, people think I'm the devil. And he's like, well, I F with the devil. You know, everybody knows that. It's like, why are we spending so much time talking about the devil? Can we talk about the cause of death and the drugs in the girl system, or are we just going to talk about the devil the whole time? I mean, I don't understand. What is the devil thing about?
My judgment on all this, I ain't buying it. You seem like a good person.
Thank you.
What he ain't buying what is my question. What is he ain't buying? Because he's heard one side of the story. Now, he does say in this podcast that this interview, that he has watched my videos and he criticizes the editing style. I'm going to make a whole video response to the specific allegations that he makes. It's not really the point of today's video, but just in general, like, I need everyone to understand that things can be entertaining and have a level of artistic value and still be informative or still be important or still get the point across. So the fact that for some reason, because I have, wacky, zany edits, it's like, means it's not serious to him or whatever. But this isn't really the main point. I just wanted to kind of say, like,
I understand why Mark continues to support you.
The guy's heard one side of the story and Mark Leta's side of the story, and he's like talking about talking to Steve-O. Like, this is the most non-objective interview I've ever seen.
I think that there's a stark raving mad lunatic mob on the internet that's out to basically terrorize innocent civilians for content. And I think that a lot of these women should be locked up because they're sick in the fucking head. A lot of these women should be locked up because they're sick in the fucking head. A lot of these women should be locked up because they're sick in the fucking head.
Now, I have a lot to say about that, but I actually want y'all to hear something else that he says just shortly after this. Let's listen together.
I really
You don't have to be on board for the entirety of what I just said, but from what I could tell, this thing that we're discussing is like InfoWars for chicks.
This is just
another dog whistle. It's like InfoWars, and then he added a little heaping scoop of misogyny on top of it. Inaccurate misogyny. Like, I'm okay with being into stuff for chicks. Look at my habitat. Okay, that's totally fine for me. But if you look at my YouTube analytics, it ain't just for chicks. If you look at this chat, it ain't just for chicks. And if you look at the comment section of this exact video on Adam's channel, I promise you it ain't just for chicks. But it's a little dog whistle to let y'all know it's just some silly little girl, right? What did Jess Margera call me? A silly little maniac, right? He said, he didn't say these people should be locked up, did he? No. And y'all, if you have followed me for a while, you know I do not pull this woman thing. This might be the first time I've talked about it, like, ever, certainly in months. I don't do the woman thing. I don't. But this right here he specifically chose the word women, right? Because they talked about these people and the people on the internet and they over and over. But when he talked about who should be locked up, he said these women should be locked up because they're, whatever he said, fucking lost in the head, whatever he said. And then he's saying it's like InfoWars, which is Alex Jones, who's, I'm not even getting into, for chicks. So I just want to reiterate one more time for the guy's name's Grand Mason, for Adam Grand Mason. I am not like InfoWars for chicks, sweetheart. I am not like anything you've ever heard of. I'm not like anything you can even fathom or imagine. So again, I'm reiterating my request to come and tell my side of the story because you just peddle all kind of lies and dog whistles across the internet to your 4.45 million subscribers, sir.
Reputation destruction, like mean girl syndrome, high school drama.
And here's Lima playing into it because she realizes that that's what's going to work here at this place, right? Because he's just given the dog whistle. So here she comes. Mean Girls High School drama. What Mean Girls High School drama? What about the Tylenol? What about the cannabinoids in her system? What about the cardiac arrhythmia? Going on and telling everybody she died from a seizure disorder marked as a seizure disorder on a video called Autopsy Results. No, we're calling it Mean Girl Syndrome drama.
But at the same time, you know, I can't remember what my point was. I had a really good point.
Yeah.
but yeah.
You know.
So we're going to survive it.
Yeah, you're going to be all right. I mean, in reality, that person probably should not be allowed on YouTube anymore.
Oh, yeah, I remember what I was going to say.
That person probably should not be allowed on YouTube anymore.
Oh, yeah, I remember what I was going to say.
That person probably should not be allowed on YouTube anymore.
Oh, yeah, I remember what I was going to say.
So I want to find this other thing, but y'all heard him say that person, he's talking about me, should probably not be allowed on YouTube anymore. And you also just heard him say, women like me should be locked up because we're fucking whacked in the head or whatever he said. And Adam, if you've made it long enough into this video, thank you. I have some things to say. You might not know this. You might know this. But I went to law school, graduated from law school, passed the bar with flying colors, and started working at a law firm. I was doing advocacy for Britney Spears at the time. Britney was in a conservatorship, a fraudulent one, an abusive one. There were conflicts of interest as far as the eye could see. She was being forced onto drugs. She had birth control forced into her uterus. And at the time I started doing that advocacy, everybody was calling us conspiracy theorists. Everybody, including Brittany's family, her dad. So this ain't my first rodeo. And it ain't the first time that very powerful, influential men have called me a conspiracy theorist. And it ain't the first time that I was right. So having Lima on your show to say lies about me is insulting, to say the least. But when you go so far as to say people who aren't saying things that you like to hear should be locked up, you fall dead square in the category of the type of people that I rally against on this channel. The irony of the situation is not lost on me at all whatsoever. The whole point, the whole reason I am focused on Lima at all, and that I am investigating this story at all, is precisely because Amanda was court ordered into Lima's care. Bam was court ordered into Lima's care. Lima tried to use conservatorships, also known as guardianships, against Bam and against Amanda. And who knows who else? Not me. I have no idea. I just know that for sure. My whole point is that people like Britney Spears and Bam Margera and Amanda Rabb should be able to make their own choices about whether or not to enroll themselves for treatment in an experimental treatment program. That's the whole point. Why? Why do I care about that? Well, for a really long time in this country, and very many different ways, your dad would know, your uncle who just died would know how it's worked. For a very long time, we haven't really had freedom in this country. Because why? There was slavery for quite a while. We had to fight wars over that shit. And then what happened? Those same slavery laws, they got perverted. They got twisted. Slavery was abolished, and then they started calling it something else. Guardianships or prison. And that's, they just take people's rights away without a jury of their peers. And then they reassign those rights to others, such as Lima Yevremovich. Thank you, Musicians' Right Network. So the whole point, ironically, the whole fucking point is that people should be allowed to make their own decisions without losing their freedom, even if they're doing something that the sons of powerful Democratic operatives don't want them to do. And look at the danger, y'all. This man is powerful. He comes from an extraordinarily influential political family, and independent from all of that, he has over 4 million subscribers on YouTube. Okay. Now, I want you to hear from him one more time. I'm going to have to find the spot. What he exactly said about people should be getting locked up. Hold on.
Think that a lot of these women should be locked up because they're sick in the fucking head.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these women should be locked up because they're sick in the fucking head.
Okay.
A lot of these women should be locked up because they're sick in the fucking head.
Okay. I have some things to say. So, as I outlined earlier, this man makes money in part by entering into certain types of intimate relations on camera with his fiance. I already told y'all I don't really have an opinion on it. I think that's great for them. I hope that they are living their best life and that they really are enjoying themselves. I truly do. I do not care. I don't care. However, I think there's a large portion of the population who might consider something like that to be sick in the fucking head. I'm just going to say it, okay? There's a large portion of people out there who would consider that to be way more sick in the fucking head than looking into somebody's cause of death when somebody lied about it. I'm just fucking saying, dude. I'm just saying, bruh. All right. So what if, I don't know, what if we had a societal consensus all of a sudden that you and your girlfriend are sick in the fucking head and you should be locked up? That doesn't seem fair, right? That doesn't seem cool. Doesn't seem like justice. You should be able to do whatever you want with your penis, right? So why on earth Should other people who are merely just saying things that you don't like be locked up? But this is the danger, y'all. This is a very influential and powerful man. Mark Laita is a very influential and powerful man. Steve-O, very influential and powerful failed clown. Okay. So altogether, these guys all seem to have a big problem with me. It wouldn't really take too much for somebody from such a powerful political family to probably pull some strings at YouTube and get me taken off of YouTube. Not only does he think I should be taken off of YouTube, but he thinks I should be locked up and women like me should be locked up. We don't live in the land of the free, do we? When people like the likes of him can just decide, they're not saying things I want them to say. So I'm going to tell my 4 million subscribers that they are sick in the fucking head and should be locked up. People of all genders, and especially women, have been being locked up against our will for saying shit that powerful men didn't like for a very long time. It wouldn't be the first time. Indeed, isn't that exactly what happened to Amanda Rabb? She was talking about all kinds of crazy shit. She was accusing people of being molesters. She was talking about being a clone. She was talking about being in the virtual reality land and the electronic versions of her. She was talking about crazy stuff. So what happened to her? She got locked up. and the circle just rounded itself right on out, didn't it? This is why I fight, because it would not take a whole lot for a group of very powerful men to just decide that that's what I deserve, for saying shit that they don't want to hear, for editing videos like they don't want me to edit them, for being outraged over things they are not outraged over. I should be locked up. That's what they think. And this is exactly why I'm on this channel. No, the hell I should not be locked up. If anybody should be locked up, it's your daddy that Bill Clinton pardoned for fraud back in the 90s. Oh, he was locked up for an actual crime. Did y'all know that? Adam22's daddy? He was arrested for fraud and Bill Clinton himself pardoned him. That's the level of people we dealing with here. Stephen Gilchrist, aka Steve-O the failed clown, he grew up in a very wealthy family. Very wealthy family. I heard somewhere that he used to hug the driver when he got out because he didn't want his friends to know he was rich and wasn't getting dropped off by his dad. This is the level of people we dealing with here, okay? And I don't want to hear one comment talking about be careful. I'm careful as I'm going to be. I'm doing what I'm here to do. I'm on a mission and I am not about to stop. People think we need to be locked up. Shouldn't even be allowed on YouTube. Shouldn't even be allowed on YouTube. What y'all think about that? I shouldn't be allowed on YouTube, but Lima should be allowed on YouTube to lie about the cause of death and the drugs in the system. And y'all, I'm going to make a whole reaction, but there's just so much misinformation and lies in that video. I honestly don't really even know where to start. And it wasn't just from Lima. This man was co-signing stuff, calling me Alex Jones. Alex Jones of all people, please. Please. And he's the one whose daddy got pardoned by Bill Clinton. I might have been born at night, but it was not last night, sir. Hold on, what'd you say? People tell me I shouldn't, let's see, be for president. Exactly. I'm not going to be old enough to run until 2028. I think. Yeah, 2028, I'll be plenty old. Oh, thank you, Apocalypse. Yeah, and no, that's the thing. A lot of people are saying that what she said was defamatory and I should countersue her. Maybe. And if I was the type of person that she is, that's definitely what I would do. But the issue is I'm not. I'm not. Because I really don't actually think her opinion matters. Oh no, Lima thinks I'm Trump. And, is falsely accusing me of saying certain things. Like, girl, please. That's the least of my concerns. The least. But what I do think it would be fair isn't taking it to court. I think what would be fair is allowing me the same opportunity that Lima has had. I think it would be nice to go on Soft White Underbelly and say my piece. And I think it would be nice to go on the Wild Ride podcast and say my piece, since they had a lot to say about me over there. And I think it would be nice to go on No Jumper and say my piece, because clearly he has a lot of opinions about me, many of them being wrong. And now he has published those opinions to his millions of subscribers. So, I mean, I don't know, if public sentiment turns against me, I certainly might consider a defamation lawsuit, because they certainly lied about me on the podcast. They certainly lied about me. And the thing is, Lima kind of tried to posture herself. At the beginning of the interview, she said, I'm not a big influencer, so I was thinking about like who I could go on. What? Lima has 100,000 more Instagram followers than me. 100,000 more. My most viewed video of any of this stuff has, I think, 600,000. I might have 1 total million views across all of my videos total about this topic. Lima's been on singular videos that have 1 million views. So she tries to posture herself as this like sort of like underdog or like this victim, whenever the reality is I don't even have 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. And you know what? I've clawed my way to those 40,000, and I'm very, very proud of that. But comparing it to somebody with 4 million, 3.85 million, 4.45 million, Steve-O, however many subscribers he has, and put those all together, and that's the reach that Lima has been allowed access to. And they can just go right on the podcast with the millions of subscribers and say that bitch needs to be locked up. Women like that need to be locked up because they're fucked up in the head. Meanwhile, this guy got a whole porn podcast, and I'm the fucked up in the head one. I mean, god damn. Like, this is perhaps the best example of the upside down clown world I've seen to date. I mean, please. Am I Alex Jones? Am I Donald Trump? Or am I a liberal? Because y'all said all of them. Then I need to be locked up. I mean, Jesus Christ. I need to be locked up because I'm saying something that a cranky man on the internet doesn't like? Get your shit together, bro. Yeah, no. I mean, I also think that he's had relations and filmed them with people from Soft White Underbelly. Like, this video definitely going to get demonetized, but how is that anything other than an advertising agency at that point? If you catch my drift, how is Soft White Underbelly any different from a advertising agency? Adam posted a tweet about it and said, oh, I just fill in the blank, a girl from Soft White Underbelly. Back in April, he said that and had the girl in the show and everything. So, I have questions. I mean, this is the caliber and the level of people that we're dealing with. And, you know, this guy, he doesn't like that I put music and edits, and he doesn't like that I'm expressive and I have opinions and emotions and I'm expressive. He doesn't like that. He made fun of me for it, but I'm not sorry. I'm going to continue to do what the fuck I want to do and say what in the hell I want to say, because I'm here on a mission. I'm here on an assignment of sorts. Okay. There's nothing that you people can say to me or about me that's going to stop me. So the best advice I could give all of y'all is to just align yourself and your spirit with the spirit of the truth, because that's what is on the horizon. It's already out. It already came out. Okay. So the fighting is like, you know, when you spray a bug and it's like on its back and it's got its legs up and it's like, God, I wish that thing would just stop. That's what this fight feels like. It's like the truth is out. The truth is out. So it can only get worse from here. All you have to do is come out and say the truth. That's it. I don't really have much else to say. Yeah. Yes, Alyssa. Yes, he did. I mean, look, okay, hold on. So let me just clarify, okay? There's a tweet from April that Adam tweeted that said, and I don't remember the verb, and even if I did, I couldn't say it on YouTube, but I just fill in the blank, a girl from Soft White Underbelly. I'll do a video about it. Don't worry. But Yeah. And that was back in April. I did not go and look up that video. So I don't know if there's a video. I don't know what happened in it. I didn't look it up. I just saw that tweet. And I found it to be interesting, to say the least. Let me see. I'm looking at y'all's questions. Dude is a creep. Yeah, and maybe it is supposed to be a big distraction. His last name is Grand Mason, but it's spelled Maison. Yeah, his father's name is Philip, and he was pardoned by Bill Clinton, and his uncle's name is something I don't even remember, but definitely investigations underway on that. So oh yeah, this is Sharp, right? And a lot of people are saying like, why wasn't Sharp on there? Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. I was like kind of like secondhand cringe, secondhand embarrassment on that part. Like, no comment. Well, that's not how it's spelled, Marcy. It's all one word. It's Grandmaison. But yeah, his Maison. We used to have if y'all are from Louisiana, you'll know this. We used to have a mall called Maison Blanche. I think it means like White House in Baton Rouge. More investigations are coming. So now your target is Adam22. Okay, just to be clear, I don't have targets. And my target is not Adam22. My target is the truth only. And so, yeah, I mean, I like to investigate stuff. Like, it's very interesting to me how Lima ended up on that podcast, considering like that's not really like what it's about. Yeah, Adam did. He used his platform to attack me. Yes, he did. And that's fine. I just think it would be fair if he would allow me on there then to speak my truth. And I'm not asking for anything I haven't given, right? Lima is still today, right now, allowed, invited to come on my show, this channel, and answer questions. She's invited. So if I'm extending that to people, then I think it's only fair that that be extended back to me, because if Lima's going to get to go in front of 4.5 million people and say lies about me and things I've said, say that I've done things I've never done, then I would like to be able to go on that same platform and correct the record, or at least say my side, and then allow people to decide for themselves what they think. I just think that's only fair. Lima's husband is Ivan Yevremovich. I believe he was originally born in Serbia, and then now he lives in the United States. She apparently married Ivan in the year 2019, according to her, although I've never been able to find any marriage records or proof that she is indeed married to Ivan. He used to work at some big bank like Morgan Stanley or one of those big ones, and then he moved to a place called like McCombsy Investment with this guy, where I think that's where he met him. And then he went to another investment firm after that called like Beverly Hills Wealth Management or something along those lines. And now he co-owns a huge investment fund that manages about $170 million. So it's very interesting to me that Lima acts so poor all the damn time, but she can simultaneously afford to travel all over the country. She can afford to hire celebrity defamation lawyers without seemingly having to take out any loans for it or ask any GoFundMe's for it. And she tries to act so poor, like she's in all this debt and all this stuff, but her husband manages a fund with $170 million in it. I don't know. It's hard for me to reconcile, but I'm sure I would just be called a conspiracy theorist for that as well. Adam is responsible for the narrative and he is choosing to spread it. Yep. So there was one nobody knows. You remember Maison Blanche? There was another one too, service merchandise. Oh, that was my ish. I loved service merchandise as well. I think she sued you, so that BJ is getting sued as part of the conversation just to discredit you. Well, I mean, we'll see. Lima's obviously keeping tabs on BJ. She needs to clear things up. That's it. She just needs to clear it up. Like the lawsuit, and that's the other thing. I will definitely be trying to get my legal fees back. So if she thinks her lawyers are expensive, imagine when she's paying for 2 of them. Hey, Ella, stop that. The cat is screaming. So yeah, I mean, oh wait, I want to go on Joe Rogan so bad. Y'all, everyone, don't send any hate, but make comments and let me go on Joe Rogan. I want to go and talk about this so bad. Okay, what's the comment? A few months back, I heard Joe Rogan discuss soft white underbelly in one of his podcast episodes. Seems like a nod because it happened during the brink of Amanda Rabb investigation. He had nothing but praise for it. Again, I would love to set the record straight about that. Here's the thing too, like Mark Laita himself, I'm not sure his full level of participation in the whole thing, but he has now gone to bat for Lima. He said like, I read the thing and it was he lied too, or let me rephrase. He misspoke. I'll say it that way. I don't know if he lied on purpose or what, but he said Lima was reading from another autopsy report and it has been amended and all this stuff. Well, I asked the coroner myself and they said, no, you have all the final copies. Everything you have is what it is. So, yeah, I don't know. He's definitely come to Lima's defense, but again, he could just be some idiot. I mean, he could just be some moron. I guess that's possible, but I'll let you decide. Yeah, I want to go. I know y'all hate him. Joe Rogan hates all of you. I know y'all don't like Joe Rogan, but as far as a platform is concerned, I think it is a good platform, and the people who watch Joe Rogan are a good platform to discuss this particular issue. And that's one thing that we have to kind of like get past is like, just because you go on someone's podcast, it doesn't mean that you're endorsing every single thing they do. Sometimes you have 40,000 subscribers and people with millions of subscribers are defaming you. You know what I mean? Like there's nuance to this stuff. But yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, I don't have like a huge opinion on Joe Rogan like one way or the other. I have watched his podcast, and to be honest, a lot of the guests he has on are very interesting, and I watch it for that reason because who else is interviewing some of these people? And that's kind of the draw for me. It's like when nobody else wants to interview somebody, at least Joe Rogan will. And I think there should be more podcasts like that as well. I don't think we should have to go to Joe Rogan if we want to hear somebody interesting speak. You know what I mean? But then the flip side of the coin is like you see Joe Rogan gets canceled all the time. He's like had a hard time keeping some of his YouTube videos up, and then Spotify was like, and it was on shaky. So it's like even there, it's like even Joe Rogan, like he tries to like, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of the whole thing that happened with all of that, but I don't know. It is very precarious here on the internet because as somebody who makes videos on the internet, I want to be given the freedom to say what I want to say. And y'all see how much I have to tiptoe around topics and words and phrases and sayings because YouTube might get me or, some cancellation might happen. And so on that aspect of things that Lima and Adam were talking about, I actually completely agree with them. Like people, should be able to use their platforms how they want. But then they also had the other side of the coin where they were like, oh, but these people particularly shouldn't be allowed to. It's like, maybe it's just time for us to just lay off it and let people say what they want to say, even if we don't agree with it, like including like people that are trash. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm saying Adam should be allowed to do what he wants. He should be allowed to say what he wants, but as long as it's true. Don't lie about me on your podcast, slander me and drag me through the mud in front of 4.5 million people. And then, not let me come on and say my side of it. That doesn't seem right. It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. Gathering homeless drug addicts and giving them cash for drugs and then using it on YouTube. And wow. What a nightmare. Indeed. Who would interview me? Who is she? Simply Bell way behind. Yeah, as long as it's true or your opinion, Oh, hold on. I know, I want to. You'd be great on Joe Rogan because the conversation is actually interesting and intelligent. Freedom of speech doesn't include defamation, slander, lies, and that's what Lima needs to comprehend. Right, that's the thing. And I'm not really trying to get into the specifics of the lawsuit, but just listening to Lima explain it, gave me the impression she doesn't actually know what the lawsuit is about. Like, the stuff she said it was about is not true. It's not. She said at one point that the whole lawsuit was because I said she killed Amanda for $37,000 in GoFundMe money. And I don't even know where to start with that sentence as to how that's not true. But even if that was true, that's not what this lawsuit is about. It doesn't say that anywhere. So I don't know why she thinks that that's what the lawsuit says, but it causes concern that she doesn't even know why she's suing me. Yeah, you can't lie. Exactly. Adam is right. Woke people are the most miserable people on earth. So I'm glad you said that, Javi, because I don't really know what woke like exactly means, because it feels like different people use it to mean different things. And it's another great example of a dog whistle. So when someone says, oh, yeah, those woke people, it's like maybe we have a common cultural consensus as to what that means, but like we don't, right? Like it could mean a lot of things. So I guess it's possible that woke people are some of the most miserable people on earth or whatever. But I don't know what that means, because that word has grown legs and run across the equator with everything that could possibly mean. I like to deal with words that are like concrete and definable, and woke is just a dog whistle word. So I guess it's possible. I really don't know. Yeah, screw the word woke at this point. Yeah, I mean, like, what does it even mean? Like, yes, it is a culture war term. It's like it's a weapon in an identity battle or whatever, right? Like, oh, you're woke, you're info wars, you're Trump, you're liberal, right? Like, I don't know how it could be all those things, but that's what I was accused of on the podcast. That I don't know. Emily D. Baker is a lawyer with a YouTube channel. Russell Brand. I don't know if this is like his area. She was approved for, I think it was 250,000. Gabapentin was used by my neighbor as a dog tranquilizer for her husky after surgery. The truth is going to come out in the end. The truth is going to come out in the end, and that is all I really know for sure. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I have such a peace about me about this whole lawsuit. Like, I'm very stressed about the money. It's going to be very, very expensive, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars, like modestly. Thank you, Universal Love. You're enlightened, not woke. You're doing truth work. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat, Heather. Also, Russell Brand would love you. That's funny. Y'all are funny. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I mean, like I've said many times, I am concerned about the money because I don't like asking for money, and I obviously don't have millions of dollars sitting around to like make me feel comfortable about how much this lawsuit is going to cost. But I do know that I am still in a very privileged and unique position to be able to at least try to fight off this frivolous, meritless case. Thank you, Lonnie. You should talk to Storm Monroe or Lovely Ty. Is it Ti or Ty? I'm not familiar with these creators, but I will definitely look into them. They want to talk. Yeah. Okay. So, but otherwise, other than like the money aspect of the lawsuit, I just have a total peace about it because I don't fear like things that I think can come out in the light. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's going to be some hush hush secret. It's not like anybody's going to be able to make any decisions that are clearly erroneous, because the whole world at that point that it gets to a trial, the whole world's going to probably be talking about it. Look, they're already getting Steve-O's talked about it. Adam22's talked about it. Soft White Underbelly's talked about it. I mean, combine all those together, it's close to 10 million damn people have heard this story. Then you put my little measly one, it's really close to 10 million people have heard this story. So, I mean, I might be, just the smallest little influencer, but the story itself, that's what they called me, influencer. But the story itself has rippled. So, I mean, I'm not scared. It's not like I'm like, oh God, I'm going to lose. No, because facts and truth ain't defamation. Opinions ain't defamation. Jokes, hyperbole, exaggeration ain't defamation. I have not said anything defamatory. I have not. And a jury is going to get to decide on all these issues. One such issue statement up at issue has to do with human trafficking. I had put up the number for the hotline for people to call and report things. And they said that was defamation because I put up the hotline number on the Instagram account. I put up a hotline number, and that's not defamation. But I'm not scared because I know it's not. I will win this lawsuit. I will not lose this lawsuit. I will not lose on one count of this lawsuit. I don't know that from a legal perspective. I know that in my heart. These things, they picked up messages from the mothership that told me that. I didn't need to go to law school to know in my heart that I'm not going to lose this lawsuit. So the best case scenario will be for all the parties involved to drop, and let's just move on with our lives, because I will be coming for attorney fees. Thank you, loving a fool. Okay, well, that's all I really had to say for today. I do not have much else. I am going to be clipping together a further reaction to this video of all the lies, because I mean, quite honestly, when people lie on your name, you do have to correct the record. So I'll be correcting the record to my little measly, 40,000 subscribers compared to his 4.5 million. I know that I'm very lucky to have 40,000. I don't want people to take it in the wrong way. I really am very excited. Like, I haven't been excited about like a YouTube milestone. Like, BJ Investigates is pretty cool, but I don't know. I'm very excited. Like, I've been thinking all week, like, oh, I'm going to hit 40,000 soon. I'm going to hit 40,000 soon. So it is so cool to have 40,000 people have clicked a subscribe button almost. And it's just like, that's so cool. So when I say measly, I really am just making a hyperbolic joke, like comparison between, like, I have 40,000 subscribers on this channel, and compared to 3.8 million on Mark, or however many Steve-O has, probably close to a million at least, or 4.4 million on what's his name. It's like, come on, like, whatever. But I mean, if he doesn't let me come on the podcast, I'm still going to be addressing the false statements and false allegations and all of the misinformation. But hopefully he'll just have me on his channel so we can sort it all out. But in any event, I'm still making videos. So that's pretty much it. In the meantime, y'all, if you don't hear from me for a while, it's probably because I got locked up because I'm out of my fucking mind, or whatever it is that man said. I mean, just really marinate on that. Really marinate on the irony that the way that he proposed, even if he was joking, the way he proposed to deal with me and women like me should be to lock us up, take away our freedoms so that we can't speak. It's not lost on me, the irony that Mark Leta and Lima referred to what we're doing to our investigation as a witch hunt. What is a witch hunt? It comes from the Salem witch trials. Whenever women were doing and saying things that people didn't like, they would call them a witch and kill them. That's what it was. So, what's the real witch trial? Locking people up because they're not saying shit that you want them to say? Because they're editing videos different than you want them to edit? What's the real witch trial? That's all I'm saying. Thank you so much, Ashley. And thank you, everyone, for the super chats. If you would like to support the legal fund, I would really appreciate it. We have reached the goal for the first round. I got my first legal bill. Almost all the money is going to be used on the first legal bill. So I'll show y'all like the exact amounts and all that. But if you would like to support the cause, support the fund, it is linked below, and 100% of everything that goes in that fund is going directly to lawyers, 100% of it. So, yeah, have like a separate, all that. That's all I'm going to have to say for today. I'll see y'all really soon. Facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.